Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. Geeky Sparkles is sitting this video out. We're going to talk about Doctor Who having its worst overnight ratings ever. Is this correct? Ever? Like in the history of the show? Yeah, so the season 2, well, I guess it'd be season 2 or season 15, I guess. Season 15 or season 2 series premiere of Doctor Who dropped and the overnight ratings were abysmal. Only 2 million people watched. That is really, really bad, guys. And usually the season premieres have a higher viewership than later episodes. It's usually the series premiere and then the finale are the biggest episodes. And this show's dead. Like it's over. Doctor Who is done. They're definitely going to put it on pause. I'd be shocked, absolutely shocked, if Disney renewed Doctor Who, if the BBC renewed Doctor Who. And it does seem to be the case, as Russell T Davies said some things the other day, basically that they're going to put the show on pause, or hinted around that they're going to put the show on pause. And I think it all depends on Disney, and there's no way in hell Disney is going to bankroll more of this when they're pulling these rookie numbers. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Yeah, so these just dropped, and of course the BBC is like, well, we don't really know what the total ratings are going to be, because you have to do the +7s, and then the plus 7s TV +4 screens, and then the +28s, guys. They've been trying to spin Doctor Who as being this wild success for the last 3-4 years now, and it's obvious to anyone who's paying attention that it is not, right? Just look at last season. You can see that the ratings were a lot higher. The overnights were higher. You know, episode 1 of the first season of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, 2.6 million. 2.4, then dropped down to 2.04, 2.6. I mean, these are all better numbers than what we're seeing. And then the special got 4.11 million. But usually the Christmas specials, as I understand it, people watch those because it's Christmas and they just kind of let the BBC play all day. So people might be like not actually watching it, but might be running in the background. But this is not a good indicator of things to come, because what's going to happen is next week and the week after, it will likely drop off. And it's funny because they're trying to make excuses for it. This is a TV Zone, tvzone.uk.com or whatever. Ratings, Doctor Who makes quiet return for second season on BBC One. They were actually promoting the hell out of this season of Doctor Who, trying to pull this thing out of a tailspin. And I don't think there's any pulling this show out of a tailspin. I think it's over. They said that Doctor Who returned to BBC One on Saturday, April 12th, with the Robot Revolution. This is one, but the Planet of the Incels. Guys, the Planet of the Incels. Nobody wanted to watch the Planet of the Incels, which scored an overnight audience of 2 million. The consolidated rating, which will include iPlayer devices and catch-up, will be released on the 21st. It was the 4th most watched program of the day across all channels and streamers, and the second most watched for BBC One, behind the Gladiators finale. Yeah, it's not good. This is not a good, it's not a good sign. I love this though. The review from The Independent. Doctor Who defies the naysayers and returns in triumph. No. No. It doesn't matter how good the show is. Nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching Doctor Who. Russell T Davies knows it's over. Winteriscoming.net has Russell T Davies foresees Doctor Who slowing down. There might be a pause, guys. A little bit of a pause, a little bit of a bump in the road. Yeah, we had a pause before last time, too, and it was like 16 years. It was a 16-year pause. They have got to reset this show. They have got to go back and like retcon the last couple seasons out of this show or something. Just be like, look, the last canon series of Doctor Who was Peter Capaldi's last season, and then everything else has been a bad fever dream. The Master's putting a bunch of bullshit into the Doctor's head or something. You know, like, ha, I tricked you. You thought you were a little girl on Gallifrey. Ha, 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 ha. That'd actually be pretty funny. But yeah, they got to do something, guys. This is not good. Winteriscoming.net says the future of Doctor Who has felt a little uncertain lately, but it's gone through uncertain periods before. It's okay, guys. It's fine. It's not fine. The BBC's iconic science fiction series Doctor Who has been on our screens for over 60 years. Yeah, there's a huge pause in there. Long-running British series has released a steady stream of content since the revival in 2005. But 2 decades after it returned to our screens, Russell T Davies admits that another pause could be very much in the pipeline, though nothing is confirmed. If Disney's not going to help bankroll it, I don't see the BBC paying for it. Of course, fans shouldn't be too worried about the series going on another hiatus. Doctor Who isn't exactly the type of series to get altogether axed. Why are they trying to spin this like a positive? It's okay, guys. It's merely a flesh wound. It's just a little scratch. It's okay. I'm barely bleeding. Talking to BBC's News Round, Russell T Davies weighed in on the immense timeless legacy of the Whoniverse. I kind of know that the Doctor's reached the status of like Robin Hood. Sometimes there might be a pause. And during that pause, the viewers of News Round will grow up a few years and start writing stories, and they'll bring it back. So I have absolute faith that we'll survive because I'm living proof of it, and that's what happens to good ideas. No good idea ever dies. Yeah, good ideas don't die. Doctor Who is a good idea. It's just poor execution. And I never thought that Russell T Davies would be the one to kill the show off again, right? Like he brought it back. And it's been mostly okay for at least half of that time. In fact, it was huge 10 years ago. Well, I guess it's been a little longer than that, maybe 12 years ago. 12 years ago in the US, Doctor Who was huge. And that never really happened before. Like Doctor Who has always been kind of a niche thing here in the US. It's not even close to being what the level that was in the UK, but like it was actually really big in the US because of BBC America. I think it was on Sci-Fi before that. My son, one of the first comic conventions we took him to, he cosplayed as the 11th Doctor. He had the bow tie and everything, the fez, and yeah, he got a lot of pictures. They're like, "Oh, isn't he cute?" Yeah, it was a lot of fun. He loved Doctor Who. He doesn't love Doctor Who anymore. He doesn't even watch it. He doesn't pay any attention to it now. It's dead to him. It's been dead to him since I'd say about halfway through Capaldi's run. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not into this show anymore, Dad." And the whole family dropped off. I stuck it out because I loved Peter Capaldi, but I gotta admit, about half of his episodes, 3/4 of his episodes, they were trash. He was a great doctor in a lot of really trash episodes. And then everybody was just done after Whittaker. So yeah, Doctor Who returned for its second season since being rebooted by Davies. The new series marks return of Ncuti Gatwa and its robot revolution and the plan of the Incels. After a mixed bag of a debut season on Disney Plus, Davies and the crew are hoping for a distinct improvement in viewership this time around. Well, guess what? You're shit out of luck there, Russell. This is the worst it's ever been. And don't tell me that's doing great on Disney Plus, because if it was doing great on Disney Plus, Disney would be crowing about it. Disney spent money on this show. In my opinion, they spent money on the show and they had lots of money to spend on streaming. And you guys got a little bit of a boon there. You got lucky, and free ride's over. It's over. They're not going to bankroll this anymore, in my opinion. I'd be very, very surprised. So what's this one? This comes from GBN or GB News. GBN. BBC Doctor Who viewers fume, let it die, as fans slam shallow and forced social commentary amid dwindling ratings. So people not like the plan of the Incels, I guess. The debut of the new series of Doctor Who has divided fans, with some claiming the iconic BBC series is finished after Saturday's episode failed to impress. The robot revolution introduced the new companion as she was kidnapped by robots and taken to a planet that had been bizarrely named after her, ruled by a sentient AI determined to make her its queen. Soon revealed the AI was actually just a jilted former boyfriend of hers, ultimately leading to her saying she was on the planet of the Incels, guys. Planet of the Incels. I'm sure this is right up there with go touch grass. Ncuti told everybody to go touch grass, and they did. David Tennant out there talking about all kinds of, trans rights issues and whatever, and telling people to go get effed if they don't agree with him. Well, guess what? They left. David Tennant successfully chased off a bunch of Doctor Who fans too. I mean, I never thought I'd see the day. Like I said, Russell T Davies brought it back into this world and he took it out. Congratulations. You're the You're the alpha and the omega, Russell. You're the beginning and the end of Doctor Who. Good for you. Did you get a trophy for that? Did you get a little statuette to put on your desk? I don't know. Fans were intensely divided over the episode, with some enjoying the return of Gatwa and Sethu, is that her name? Her debut, but finding the on-the-nose social commentary tiresome. Doctor Who: The Robot Revolution was a fun ride, and Varada Sethu is a great addition to the TARDIS, but parts of it were frustratingly undercooked, especially the eye-rolling Planet of the Incels. Second Despair: Doctor Who used to do social commentary because it had something to say. Now it's just doing social commentary because it feels like it has to say something. That is a very accurate description of wokeness and forced diversity in entertainment, in my opinion. Because yeah, they used to have something to say, and now they feel like they have to say something. That is very accurate. Because back in the day, it was all about, well, we want to say something, we want to get this point across, whatever. Now it's like, we have to say it or we're going to get canceled. We're not going to look progressive enough. We have to say it. Or because mandates. It's shallow and forced. The episode was fine. Another person said, more funny than I expected. Loving Varada as Belinda. Shooty is improving with each outing. Well, he better improve pretty damn quick, because he is currently the lowest rated Doctor. Murray Gold was cooking with that score. Murray Gold is always good. How did they get this wrong? They brought David Tennant back. They brought Russell T Davies back. They brought Murray Gold back. And they still fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that takes some skill, man. That takes some skill. Plot was serviceable, some really bad and tacked on attempts at commentary on incels. However, others were not so even-handed and stormed social media with their fury at the latest adventure. Wow, this episode is hateful on a whole new level. And yes, they literally say Planet of the Incels. Taking aim at Russell T Davies, the second rage, the best you can come up with is a Borg incel. The show's finished. Let it die. Let it die. The latest episode has recorded its lowest overnight ratings to date, with the latest debut attracting just 2 million viewers. It's over. It's over. There's no saving Doctor Who. There's no saving it. There's no saving it at this point. Russell T Davies was the last best hope that we had, and he dropped the ball. And yeah, I think it's probably for the best that they just pause this show for like a decade and let somebody else come in and do something with it. Maybe. I mean, there's always the Big Finish audio. There's always comic books. There's, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's over, right? I've moved on. This used to be one of my favorite shows. For a while, it was my favorite show on TV, and I've moved on. Just like I moved on from Star Wars. You just have to be willing to let this stuff go. You get to a point where it's like, it is just wearing that skin suit of that thing I loved. It's never going to be the same. You can never go home again. Even if you get all the same people back, it doesn't. That's like George Lucas could come back to Star Wars and it would probably still be fucked up. There's no saving it at this point. So you just remember how it was and you move on. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We will talk later.